Well, I came to the Geodesign Summit a couple of years ago, and one of the things that I was so excited about is to see a lot of student involvement and examples of student work. And I thought, well, it would be great if I could ever, come and show some examples. And this is a project that I figured out that would be a perfect example. I want to acknowledge my graduate student, Ning Chen. She was going to present today, and she actually got an internship with Juan Carlos. So we are very proud of her. So hopefully what we're going to show is a good example of what she's doing. And a little bit of a background. The University of Georgia is one of 14 national locations that are part of a program called NASA Develop. And it's basically a program intended to involve young professionals, students, graduate students, in research projects that focus on utilizing NASA products, NASA remote sensing products, to address community concerns and to use this for the decision-making process. So we found a great opportunity to partner with Miami-Dade Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Department, and with the Trust for Public Lands, that is an NGO. And it just happened that they were in the process of starting this project, so they saw the value of incorporating the work that we were doing. And a little bit of background, well, the city of Miami, I think, is a perfect example of what geodesign should be about, in a sense that there are a lot of conflicts occurring in this area. There is a lot of competition for water, for land use, for space, for, and of course, a lot of threats because of ecological reasons and climate change reasons. Among other things, this is an area that has been encroached with boundaries that encompass the Everglades National Park to the west, the Biscayne National Park to the east, and then some of the conservation areas that are managed by the Southwest Management District to the north, the ones that are showing. I don't know if this is going to work, so I probably will skip that. Now, historically, and this is part of another research that we have been looking at historic maps back from 1913, and we have been looking at the changes that have occurred in this area, how, for example, the city has expanded to what historically was the Everglades wetland area. So this is an image from the beginning of the century, and this, the other one, and I cannot take credit for this. This is from the South Florida Water Management District, but we have been digitizing some of those historic maps. Now, this is a different project, the one that I'm talking about, but I think what is important is that even though the Everglades is pretty much the backyard of many residents in the Miami community, those western neighborhoods, Weston, Doral, Kendall, they are not aware of having the Everglades in the backyard, and really they don't take advantage of the recreational opportunities that are in this part of the city. Another important issue here, and that's the reason of this figure, is that they are not aware of the importance of Everglades restoration and the resources that are there, particularly, for example, for aquifer recharge and the importance, of course, of the water resources. So the project, the Western Greenway project, was about 3 goals. First of all, provide recreation access, promote agricultural tourism, which is a large potential in a section of the city that I'm going to show in a minute, and then natural resources and climate resilience. And among other methods and resources, we use NASA 15-meter resolution after imagery from March 2011. And then we adapted the method, the LUCIS that I know that has been presented here probably more than one time, the land use conflict identification strategy from Peggy Carr and Paul Swick, University of Florida. So the process of a NASA-developed project is very intensive. And one of the things that I like about it is that in a 10-week period, the students have rigorous timeline of deliverables, from the beginning, the abstract and the outline, to the creation of a poster, a video, a technical report, and a final presentation. And one of the things that I like is that really is about communication, all of the process from basic research all the way to communicating science. And I think that has a great value, and this is a great program that really encourages them to not only to understand the research that they are doing, but what is the optimal way to communicate. And then among other things, they get to meet with the partners, they visit the area, and they basically need to learn also project management skills. So this is a summary of the methods, and I'm not going to get into a lot of details because I have a video that was part of this project that I wanted to show. But the basic idea is that they go from the data preparation, image processing, atmospheric correction, creating a composite of images, the analysis. They go through an exploratory mode where they, for example, they look at NDVI, principal component analysis, and other methods, and they decide, they select one of them, and then they finally have a series of products that are those on the right. Among other things, for example, they use an existing land use that didn't have exactly the categories that we were looking for the study, and that's the reason they end up looking at NDVI and other techniques to produce a land cover map that would cover the requirements of the project. As I mentioned, they use LUCIS, the land use, or they adapt the original LUCIS model that is intended to identify conflicts between urban, agriculture, and conservation. And in this case, we come up with a different type of criteria for agrotourism, that is the one shown in blue, recreation, the one showing in orange, and then conservation, that is the one showing in green. And what I like about LUCIS is that, and I don't know if this will be, let me use this instead, is that in the process of going from a traditional suitability to, I guess, compiling or compressing the information in that process, in that sequential process, you end up with a matrix that pretty much goes from 1-1-1, meaning no conflict between the three categories, to 3-3-3, that is maximum conflict. Now, this map doesn't represent very accurate that. I mean, here, basically what we have are all of the categories. But if we were to classify this map in a different way, it would be, for example, showing the 3-3-3, which in this case we didn't have, as the areas of maximum conflict, for example, in some of the southern areas. And just to talk a little bit about what you're looking at here, well, this is the whole city. This is some of the agricultural areas. This is the urban area, and then this is the boundary with the Everglades wetland area. Now, in the process of negotiating and going back and forth with the other partners, with the Trust for Public Lands and the Miami-Dade County, the county already had identified what they call the proposed gateways and points of interest. And the basic idea was integrating what they have done in this analysis with what they had. And I need like 4 minutes for the video. Am I doing okay? Yeah? Do we have time?
I can put it up on the web.
Huh? Or I can just show I'm already on.
Okay, well, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Oh. If it comes, hopefully it will come. Well, apparently it won't cooperate, so. I'm going to give the website for the video, and I'm sorry for that. The video didn't work. But basically, as I mentioned, part of the develop project is they have to produce a video at the end of this 10-week period. But what I wanted to talk about, or what I wanted to bring as a conclusion is that, first of all, Geodesign offers the possibility of integrating science and decision-making by interpreting complex data into relatively simple categories that can be used, manipulated, and adapted for negotiation. And when I show them that this matrix, really, in a meeting with the stakeholders, you basically can change the combinations of these numbers and show different options for maps and really do a negotiation. Of course, in a 10-week period, you cannot do that, but you provide a tool for the county and for the NGOs. Well, definitely integrating traditional suitability with user preference, which is something that I didn't explain well, but gives more power to the geodesign tools and allows, again, for a more informed negotiation with the stakeholders. And finally, by teaching students from various disciplines how to integrate these tools into their regular set of research strategies, we help them being more driven into helping them inform land managers and other decision makers into the process. And with that, well, thank you. And this is my knowledge to all the people that participated in the group.
Yeah, thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.